Hi guys! So earlier on, we talked about the three approaches to control systems. Then we talked about the three steps in the control process. And right now, we're going to talk about the three types of control. So here goes. All right. There are three types of control. Notice this is different from the three approaches to control system. The biggest difference here is that for the earlier part, whereas the three approaches to control systems, they are areas that the individual or the organization have very low power over. For example, the market, the bureaucracy, the clan. These are things that an individual or an organization would have very low power over. Whereas for here, types of control, the individual or the organization would have a greater power. So the three types of power are feedforward, concurrent, and feedback. In layman terms, it is before, during, and after. Okay, I'm going to give you some relatable examples. So how can an organization or an individual exercise control? You can either do it before something happens, during something happens, or after something happens. Let's take a look. All right, anyone here uses Samsung headphones? I do. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Samsung. All my headphones ever since my very first headphones have been Samsung. Oh no, my very first was Nokia. Then after that, Samsung, all the way. I never ever once bought myself an iPhone. Never ever. I don't know why, it's not that iPhone's not good, but it's just that I'm a Samsung person. I'm very loyal, huh? I stay to one brand and I don't tend to change. So anyway, I love Samsung so much. I'm very happy with it until this happened. Right, if you follow the news, 3 years ago, there was this Note 7. I am a big fan of the Samsung Note series. Right now, I am using Note 10. Huh? So back then when Note 7 happened, I was like, I'm already working, so I saved up my money. I don't go clubbing, I don't drink, and I went and used all the money and purchased a Note 7. And then, you know what? Big in the news on Straits Times headline, Samsung Note 7 is defective. The phone battery explodes. It's not even allowed to be used on board the flights. You're like, so serious. So it's like anytime you use it or when you charge it, right, then it may just boom, explode, catch fire, and secrete the acid or the chemicals that will corrode your belongings, or worse, if it touches your eyes or your mouth or your hands, it's gonna hurt you. So back then I was like, are you kidding? The phone that I like put by my face every day, like I use on my bed every night, like I hold it all the time, can explode and kill me. Oh, what? No way. So let's say that this phone has very defective parts, or rather chemicals. The way it's manufactured had issues. And what happened was Samsung issued this recall exercise. So people who purchased the phone could bring it back to Samsung, and we could get credits and exchange it for the next model and at the following launch, or you can get a trade down, or you can get trade to a similar model, or etc. So it's like something like this. When something happens, boom, catch fire, and not just it's many people complaining of the defect. Samsung had to do after event corrective actions. They had to recall the phones, they had to communicate to the public, they had to do a lot of things to rectify the issue. Okay, perhaps giving you a more food example, more relatable, huh? Okay, you guys know what is this? Fish, right? What fish is this? I don't think you you kids know like you never go to buy at the white market. Anyway, I just got to learn about fishes very recently because you know of all the eat at home. I started to buy food and cook, so I went to the supermarket and I learned that this is the salmon fish. Okay, so I bought one whole fish about 1.5 kg, $40, huh? I brought home and then you know what I did? I made this. Can you believe it? So awesome, right? I put like pepper, vegetables, salt, and then some parsley. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be very happy to share the recipe if you're interested. And so the fact that we can buy fish and make delicious dishes like this here is all thanks to one organization, AVA. Okay, thanks to AVA, they do a lot of control just so we can have this delicious salmon for our dinner, at the restaurants, anywhere that you want. So some of the control that they do is like feed forward before the fish even reaches Singapore. People in AVA, Agri-Food and Veterinary Authority of Singapore, the people in AVA, they go down to the fish farms, and the fish farms could be overseas. It could be in Malaysia, Indonesia, or anywhere around the world, Norway, USA. They go there, they check the farms, they actually survey, they test the waters, they test the chemicals, they take pictures, they interview the importers, even before the fish reaches Singapore. That's feed forward. Then during concurrent. So as the fish is being shipped to Singapore, people from AVA, they ensure that as the fish is coming to Singapore, I think the fish fly here, like not they don't swim here, okay? They like catch, put in the cargo, then if they fly them air flown in, or if not, they will just put them into cargo boxes and ship it over. Okay, during the transportation process, during concurrently, AVA people will go down to ensure and check that it's being done correctly, the temperature is being under control, there is a clean and safe logistical arrangement bringing the fish from the source area to where our fisheries are, and even when the fishes are with us, AVA people, when the fishes have arrived in the markets, AVA people will test the fish. They will have scientists, chemists, they will have researchers to find out whether there are any chemicals in the fish, whether there are any toxins, whether the fish is fresh, or whether the fish is quality. All right. So this is an example of how an organization like this, they do before, during, and after control. So before feed forward control, it takes place before the actual activity. Okay, the idea is to ensure that the problem will not occur. All right, so example is like another example for you, LTA. You know what you know what does LTA do? They do transport your MRT systems, right? So it's in the news that they have these drones that fly to and fro your railway track, especially the downtown line and the circle lines where it's all underground, and they have drones to survey and check, see any defects in the train system. So it's like kind of like a feed forward thing because they're checking even before anything happens. They are constantly ensuring there's no cracks, nothing chipped off, no bend, no leaking, no whatever, before any problem occurs. You know it's very, very disastrous if there's an accident on the MRT, right? Imagine you're traveling at like 120 kilometers per hour, and if something would happen, boom! Oh man, I don't even want to think about it yet. So LTA really needs to do feed forward control. I don't think they have a chance. Our lives are at stake. Japan, another example for you. So Japan, if you have ever been there, you know it has a lot of anime, ramen. Okay, not just that, it has a lot of earthquake, natural disasters. There was once I was in Tokyo, and then I was in the mall, shopping mall, and the toilet. I was in the okay. I won't say what I'm doing, but I'm in the toilet. Suddenly, I feel shaking. I thought hey, it must be that sake I drank. Now I'm feeling so giddy, but no, I was in an earthquake. My gosh, first time in my life I experienced an earthquake back then. I mean, oh, so scary. It's like you're shaking, and it feels weird because you don't know, is it you shaking or is it earthquake. So anyway, for Japan, they have this prediction system. So they use a lot of science things like physics, like radio waves, even animal behavior, just to predict when the next earthquake will occur. More importantly, it has to be the serious earthquakes or the tsunami kinds. Yeah, as you would have followed the news many years back, like in 2011, these natural disasters really devastated Japan, really, really bad. And it's something that they want to avoid at all costs if possible. So this is also a feed forward, a before kind of a control. Before the tsunami or the earthquake strikes Japan, they want to find out, they want to be prepared for it. Moving on, we have the concurrent control, which is another word for during. So this just means the organization or the individual takes the action in the process. Okay, so an example for you would be Woodlands ICA, Woodlands checkpoint. Anybody here, you went from Singapore, cross the checkpoint to Malaysia by car or bus before? Okay, if you have, you would understand that there's this like check, custom check. If you have not, please do so after the CV period. All right, go and explore Malaysia. It's a great country. I love it there. I go there very often, and I can't wait to go there again after when it's possible. So anyway, when you cross the custom, during the crossing, see, concurrently as you cross, the police will say, hello ma'am, open your boot, check, use a torchlight scan underneath, look here, look there, open this, open that. They just want to check to see if there are any drug smugglers, because sadly, there are drug smugglers, and there are people bringing drugs into our beautiful country, causing you young people to be addicted to drugs and then ruining your lives. Okay, there are very active drug activity going on. No kidding about that. So thanks to people at ICA, to the officers who so vigorously and religiously check and ensure that you catch these drug smugglers, and not to damage the beautiful peace and safety of this country. Moving on, we have feedback control. So that's the after part of the control. In feedback control, you control things after it has happened. So things are like, you find out what's the financial reports, what's the financial status. The only thing is that the damage is already done by the time you get the information. This is more like helping you to check to see if your planning efforts were effective, and it also provides feedback on their performances. Okay, one example would be this Fukushima nuclear disaster. Again, Japan, right? Very sad. They are always like devastated by such big scale kind of disaster events. So for this, the nuclear plant had this explosion, boom, and then the radioactive substances, they actually got leaked to the water, the sea surrounding Japan. Not just the sea, the radioactive air and gas particles, they just go all over the island and affecting not just the humans, but the animals, the vegetation, the animals, and etc. Is quite a serious thing. So after it happened, the government, they just do all they can. They went to check on all other nuclear plants. They went to ensure that no other explosion would occur again. So this is done after the disaster happened. It's a kind of a feedback or an after control. In an organization setting, the feedback control that company uses are financial controls, financial reports, your financial analysis to check if you have the company has profit, has liquidity, has any deviations from the budget. So these would be some of the feedback control used by organizations. All right, so that's the three types of control. And we've come to the end of this lecture. I hope you have enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next. So, farewell.